Hi, nature friends. So this is part 2 of the video that I promised. I try to sit outside on my porch and listen for the call of a barred owl, but there weren't any. It's pretty cloudy tonight. It's nice out. It's only about 36 degrees, but I could not hear any owls. I also tried to look for different stars in the sky, but all I could find was a little sliver of the moon. So I think I am going to switch topics and go to plan B, which is woodpeckers. So let's talk a little bit about woodpeckers because they are everywhere this time of year. So how much wood could a woodpecker peck if a woodpecker could peck wood? Let's talk about it. So the two most I would say the woodpeckers that we might know just by what we hear or what we see when we're on a winter walk in the woods. Try to say that 10 times fast. We have our downy woodpecker here, which is the smallest of our local woodpeckers. And we also have the hairy woodpecker. Now, if you see them separately, you may not be able to tell them apart unless you get a really good look at the beak. As you can see, the downy woodpecker has a much smaller beak, and the hairy woodpecker's beak is much larger, and their eye is also much larger. But the real way to identify these two woodpeckers is by their call. So a downy woodpecker might make a little chirp, and then it goes down a scale. It goes do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. However, a hairy woodpecker might make a chirp or a cheep, and then it just stays staccato at monotone. It just goes chirp, 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 just like that. So that is how you tell these two apart. The next woodpecker that you might know or have seen before or heard of is called the red-bellied woodpecker. I know, I'm looking at it too. What red belly? It's a little bit of a blush, but hey, it's the right of the person the scientist or researcher that discovered this bird and how they decided to name it. It's all about them. So our red-bellied woodpecker, as you can see here, we have a male and we have a female. You can tell the female because she has a little gray head and then a little red patch at the back of her head, whereas the male, he's red from the top of his bill all the way down to the nape or the back of his neck. And red-bellied woodpeckers